Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. I'm Films by Jeremy, and Lumix just dropped a new update for their S5 II, 2X, GH7, and G9 II cameras. Seeing that I only have the S5 2X out of those four cameras, I thought that I would just install the software and dig in. So let's see what they did. Before we get into that, I just want to say that I've been using the S5 Mark IIX for the past like almost year now. We're coming up to a year. It's a couple months off now, and it's been just an insanely amazing camera to use and to have. Before this camera, I was just using the S5 Mark Is, and I was debating on upgrading. I'm like, hey, like the autofocus kind of works for me. It's fine-ish. You know, it works 45% of the time, kind of. I have the black magic, like why do I need another S5? And it turns out the Mark IIX has just been my favorite camera to use. That Mark IIX and the S9, both phenomenal cameras, and there were some features the S9 had that I wish the Mark IIX had, and well, now it does. And so the Mark IIX just got even better, like what the title says. Anyways, now that we have the update installed, what changed? What's new? So we have enhanced autofocus detection for airplanes, for trains, and for other parts of cars and motorcycles. And just going through the menu now. And how do you screen record your camera? I've seen people do it all the time. I don't know how. Anyway, car parts. We have car, the entire subject, and car, main part priority. It's like -20 outside. I'm not about to go outside and do an example yet. Motorcycle, helmet priority, and the full motorcycle. We have trains, planes, trains, and automobiles. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Train first car, train main part priority, airplane nose priority, and airplane airframe. So if you're into train videography and photography, which I did shoot a project and there was a train involved, and any other time I'd say, oh, it's kind of niche, but no, it does come up every once in a while. And then an airplane, if you want to film a cool airplane scene, you can now do that reliably, I guess. Awesome, so those are the autofocus features. Now what else did they give us? Hybrid zoom. This is super cool. So on my camera right now, I'm rocking the 16 to 28 millimeter f2.8 lens by Sigma. So like I said, it's from 16 to 28, but with the hybrid zoom feature, it is 16 to 43. That's pretty cool. 16 to 43. So what's that crop? I'm not too sure. It doesn't say. I find this feature super handy for things like real estate, and when you're shooting a wide angle lens, typically the variable isn't too crazy. So 28 millimeters isn't too much to zoom into, but now 43 millimeters is just a huge upgrade. But if you're using like a 24 to 70, I believe it goes from like 24 to like 95, I think. So that's crazy. That's great. It's gonna be amazing for like wedding filmmaking and whatnot. So that's awesome. MP4 Light has been added for smaller data consumption. So yeah, if you're doing just like quick content, you don't need bigger file sizes, go for MP4 Light. And you know, if you're just making YouTube videos and you don't feel like having crazy file sizes, and let's say your computer can't handle things and you don't feel like shooting proxies, MP4 Light, you could do that too. Remote shooting, shutter control, transferring images selected on camera, and live streaming features have been added to the Lumix Lab app finally. A lot of the times I use the Lumix Lab app and I was like, oh, maybe I could just, you know, use the S5 Mark IIX, set it up, use my phone to catch my focus. And nope, I forgot that it's only for the S9, which I'm using right now. If you're wondering what lens I'm using at this current time as well, it is the 18mm f1.8. One of my favorite lenses in the set. So the Lumix Lab app seems to be a full-fledged thing now for the S5 Mark IIX, and only the S5 Mark IIX. That's what it says here anyway. So if you have any other Lumix camera other than the S9 and the Mark IIX, you cannot use these extra features. So sorry about that, I guess. Next, you could also shoot with multiple frame markers. And so that just means that instead of just one 9x16 while shooting open gate, you can now have a 16x9 and 9x16 at the same time. Again, this is just best while shooting in open gate. And that looks to be it. It's really cool that Lumix is consistently updating their cameras. They're always putting new stuff out there to keep your cameras up to date, and it seems like they actually care about their product, which in today's day and age, it feels like a very rare commodity with everything just being so, disposable. For some reason, I have so many friends who complain about their cameras not being updated once the newest thing comes out because they, in my opinion, just release too many cameras. This is why I love that Lumix does not do that. They just release the cameras that they want to release, and it seems to be an incredibly well structured and really an event when something new comes out from them. Again, I've been using my Lumix cameras for a while, and as much as something like the Blackmagic Pocket 4K, I still love that image, and it's just so natural and authentic looking. I believe that the Lumix systems are nothing to scoff at either. Right out of the box, you get a beautiful image quality, and I am always blowing away my clients. I'm always blowing away people in my industry who are like, oh, what camera are you using for this project? Why does it look so, amazing? The dynamic range, blah, 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 blah. I'm always like, it's the Lumix, it's the S5mkiix. Like, there are limitations, but man, these cameras are just so amazing. And anyway, I'm just glazing Lumix, and they haven't even shared any of my posts on Instagram yet. So, hey, I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. So everyone, once again, I appreciate you so much for stopping by my channel. And if you haven't yet, please feel free to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye now.